Yeah, sorry I'm late broadcasting again today. I had to go out, sort out a few things, and hopefully next time I will have my headset fixed. I took it over to my friend today because he was off work, so he's gonna try and fix my headset, so I'll hopefully have better quality audio the next time. No, it's not bye. For the next time we do this streaming. Right then, let's get down to business. Today we're going to be doing...
Protector's Enclave needs your help.
And we're going to be doing the quest for receiving our first artifact as well, so let's get that.
Listen,
on the go.
I have a friend among the priests of Ogma who has been filling me in on some very old and powerful magic items. Artifacts, he calls them. Seems he's learned the resting place of some of these artifacts, and he's afraid that other less desirable researchers may learn the same. Personally, I'd rather have someone like you holding a powerful item rather than some red wizard or dragon cultist. Go talk to Elder Reader Loris at the Sage Shop here in Protector's Enclave. He'll be expecting you.
Sometime back, the lusting pirate Traven Blackdagger built a fortress north of Neverwinter and made it the heart of his own bandit kingdom. His Blackdagger bandits are disrupting Neverwinter's vital trade routes. A secretive group known as the Harpers has offered to help Neverwinter put an end to Traven Blackdagger's schemes. I don't know much about the Harpers, but I'm not going to turn down any offers of help. I'd like you to work with them. The Harpers already have agents in place. Look for a man called Seven Toes near the Broken Crown Tavern south of Blackdagger Keep.
Let's double check first, make sure I can pick it up already. We're going to have to equip the potion trade. Switch up then for the time being. Let's go pick up the artifact quest. And then we will head to Blackdagger Ruins. I have to apologise, coming down with a bit of a cold I am, so I'm not very talkative as I usually am this because I'm not actually feeling very well, so run past those.
You are the one Sergeant Knox recommended. He seems most impressed with you. That's good. I need someone I can trust. As a priest of Ogma, god of knowledge, I have spent many years studying wondrous items, as well as lesser and greater artifacts of power. I've learned more than enough to cause me grave concern. Through painstaking study, I have discovered where a cache of valuable artifacts was hidden long ago. According to my sources, they can be found deep within the Cragmire Barrows, among the Blackdagger ruins. Recovering these artifacts will be no trivial matter. Their former owner was an accomplished wizard, and he is certain to have prepared a secure resting place for his prized possessions. You can expect formidable guardians as well. Lastly, the artifacts are bound within a magically sealed casket. The defenders of Neverwinter are in need of artifacts like these. If you recover the casket, I can open it. Do this, and one of the artifacts within will be yours to keep.
Right, well. say this mission is important because I know I know some people anyway that have neglected to do this mission. They don't actually realise the importance of it because it's not part of any of the campaigns, but it is. You know, it is an important side quest to do because I mean, this is an introduction to artifacts, and I know a lot of people. I mean, there's talk that in the next couple of months that they're going to be. The PC's already got it, but on the consoles. Oh, come on, there we go. The consoles will be getting the new refinement system in a couple of months. So the current one's going to be completely different. We're going to be getting a refining system that will be based on points rather than having all these different refining stones. If you've got any refining stones and that in your inventory, when this new update comes out, it's going to be part of the next big update, and it's going to completely change the refining system. From what I've heard about it, it's going to from what I've heard about it, it's going to completely change the foundations of it. It's like, at the moment, the refining system, and we've already got an artifact equipped from the character, but basically, what you do at the moment, you know, you can still use all these, but these stones, the resonance stones, the thermaturgic stones, these resonance stones, a lot of people get confused as to how you go about refining your artifacts and everything. I'm just going to dump all these just to show you. Hello. Yeah, you can level up your artifacts and that. Your normal, your actual artifacts, you can use these. You can use the enchantments to refine your artifacts. But these ones here, these are what confuse people. It's like stone gives off a slight humming sound. It is worth 500 refining points for artifact equipment, but has far less for other items. Now this is an actual artifact, so it's only going to give you 100 refining points. But if you use a resonance stone on an artifact weapon, let's see a second, hang on. I don't think I've actually got an artifact weapons. I think I have got an actual. I think I have got something in my bank. I'm saving for. No, we're not actually going to refine. This artifact now because this. There we go. Let's see. Yeah. There we go. Ah. Just use that for now. Right. Oh, I got off the play calculus, right, okay. But this is then a piece of artifact equipment. We're not actually going to refine it. Yeah, no. We're not actually going to refine it, but if we put this stone into a piece of artifact equipment, there you go, see, 500 refining points towards leveling it up. Resonance stones are used for your actual artifact equipment, not your actual artifacts. The artifacts, because this is what confuses a lot of people with the refining system. The artifacts use all the other refining stones. Thermaturgic stones, like I said in the previous video, these ones are used for refining your enchantments, and rune stones, they're only worth 100 points for an artifact. Only worth 100 points for an artifact, a piece of artifact equipment, but let's see. You go dark enchantment, there you go. Refine enchantment. You use one of these on an enchantment, there you go, 500 points towards refining. Say with these artifacts. Now, if you read the description of them, each artifact that you pick up has a unique. It has a class. Like this is an artifact of union, so you'd use union stones. Union Stones to refine this artifact, and the Union Stones will give it the most experience. All the others will only give it like 100, 1,000, depending on the the quality of the refining stone you're using. And now the marks are used for upgrading them. You shouldn't use them for actually refining, because you need them for upgrading them once you reach, it's like this, next level, got to hit rank 29, you've got to level it all the way up to 29, and then get the bar full, because once you upgrade it, it'll instantly turn to rank 30, so you need to get it up to 29 and then fill that experience bar, so it levels up to 30 when you upgrade it, and then the quality will be increased and you'll get better stat bonus from it. Each artifact has a different class. Like I said, this is an artifact of Union, so you use Union Stones on it. But you also get artifacts of power and artifacts of stability. We'll cover that when we finish the artifact mission. Now, I'll show you the artifacts. But they're the three. Oh, hang on. I don't think. Oh! I've already got my key. I'm sure I have. Yeah. You can only carry one dungeon key at a time. So, okay, we'll go to Blackdagger Ruins now. We'll do that quest for the artifacts, and I will show you. But this new refining system that they're bringing in the next major update, like I said, the PC's got it already, but we'll go and do the artifact quest first, just to give you a... We'll go and do this artifact quest now, and I'll give you I'll show you what I mean now. So, you get a choice of the 3 types of artifacts once you finish this quest. There's stability, a union, and a power. Oh, is it? You want to... Late bloody streaming today. Oh, these guys, the spies. Every so often you get there's an event, a little mini event that goes on. You got to catch these guys to earn rewards in the event. Lasts 15 minutes, and I think it happens every half hour to an hour or something like that. I'm not sure. I haven't really timed it, to be honest, because I'm usually busy running around doing quests and stuff when it happens. So here we go. Now this quest we're gonna do now for this is where we gotta go and get our artifact. But what most people don't realise, because most people don't actually read the lore, what most people don't realise is at the end of this quest you get a question. You get asked a question at the end, and this statue by here actually has the answer to the question in the lore that it gives you. Blackdagger people has an ancient barrow-dated inscription near the barrow reads, "Here lies the last of the once noble house of Fragmia, brought low by their own meddling in the dark and necromantic arts, 1328 year of the Adder. Cragmere noble house was once allied with the throne of Neverwinter. In early 1300s, however, it was discovered that the Mears were leading a necromantic cult and raising an undead army to threaten Neverwinter and the Sword Coast. Don't even! Neverwinter's army attacked Pragnir to keep reducing much of it to ruins and wiping out the cult, along with the Cragmire line. Crypts below the keep were infested with undead and sealed with a powerful enchantment. So, that piece of lore is actually the answer to the question you'll be asked at the end of this quest.
My spells are at command.
Don't even, you're still in my bad books, mister. Okay, Cookie's been naughty today. He's been on one because I have to go out and he doesn't like it when I go out without him. So he's been acting up. He's been acting up since I got home, so I do apologise for him screaming in the background and just trying to get my attention from ignoring him. Sapphire, we will definitely take part. Those I will be keeping for later. Just got a pearl. Just gone on to my character. We just got a pearl of sapphire, three white pearls. These are also refining stones, but they're universal refining stones, so it doesn't matter what you put them into, they will give you the experience, they say. Oh, and by the way, I leveled up when I stopped streaming last week. I haven't put the points in yet, but I leveled up when I did my daily invoking to get my coins. So waited until today to put the points into them. What we're gonna put them into though, like I said, I use Templar's Wrath quite often because of the fact that when I'm running around on my own, I tend to use Templar's Wrath because everything wants to kill the paladin. Everything wants to kill the paladin, so having something that stuns is always a good thing. Almost ready to unlock these. Because the point that actually unlocks 3 levels earlier than it normally would. So you're not actually going to get points to put into Paragon powers until you hit level 30 and choose your class. Well, until you take your oath, you're not going to be able to put points in here. It's unlocked early because I've put 20 heroic points into these, but we've actually still got 3 more levels to go. 3 more levels to go before we start getting Paragon points to put into these lines. So 3 points are going to go into Constitution.
My magic is your
Don't even try sweet talking me, mister. Don't even try sweet talking me, you stroppy sod. You wanted to pick fights. So you're back in your cage. You can't really complain now, can you? I love these laughing skulls. If you listen, the laugh of that skull is actually the same laugh as that cobalt in the sewers in that mission we done a couple of videos ago. In our strong box. I was very confused. Oh. I don't know what character she's on, Colette. Excuse my language. I'll have to text her on my phone in 2 seconds. Go. Sorry about that. Let's go to the next one. Unable to perform interaction. There is nothing alive. Upcoming enemies in different zones. elemental evil campaign. Overall elements were coming to campaign made our way through there. It's time to answer that question.
I knew one day some cursed Ogma Knight would discover the secret of this forgotten vault and challenge me for possession of the Cragmire family's greatest treasures. By besting my guardians, you have proven your power. Let us now test your knowledge. Tell me, intruder, what was responsible for the destruction of the illustrious noble house of Cragmire?
If we read the law, then that would be this answer. Armies of Neverwinter.
Yes! Curse them, and the long-dead lords who commanded them. At least the Cragmires are still remembered, even by one such as you. That is something, at least. Pass on, if you will. What use are these treasures to me now?
On then, Lich. Completed. All you gotta do is just take this back to Protector's Enclave. We will get our first artifact.
My spell?
Let's go, Goliath! Hopefully next week, if the developers keep to their word and do a discount on Zen for the next streaming that I do next Saturday, we will have we will have oh my goodness, my brain's gone blank. Oh right, 3 VIP. So I'll be able to just instantly travel to wherever it is we need to go, rather than make our way back to bloody exits all the time. Oh, that's why it's flipping. It's in the bloody order document. Honestly, I've had enough of you. I'm so looking forward to taking it all. Bugger off! Sorry, mate. this back to Protective Enclave, I will run you through the refinement and the artifacts. Now, this Enclave.
You wish my aid? A wise choice.
I tend to go quiet when I'm typing because I struggle to stay focused, so bear with me a sec. Our first artifact. Now this decision is very important because it's going to affect your build basically, and you're gonna need to take your long-term build into account when you make this choice, because unless you're willing to buy them off the exchange or you're lucky enough to get them out of treasure chests,
This is indeed the coffer I asked you to find. I have performed a ritual that grants me the power to open these magically sealed containers. Let us see what is within. Behold, 3 powerful artifacts, and, as promised, you shall have your choice of them. I advise you to consider your options carefully. This is an important decision and should be made with care.
Right. Now, you can buy these off the trade house, but depending on which one you choose, they can actually be quite expensive. So choose carefully. Now, like I said before, when I was going on about the refining system, each of them has a different class, like artifact stability, union, power. So each of these will take the different refining stones to be able to upgrade them. Now, I know a lot of people that get confused about the refining system, but you don't have to worry for too much longer, because they're going to be bringing in, like I said, the PC's already got the new refining system. They're going to be bringing it to console in the next major update, but it's going to eliminate the stability, union, power, and resonance stone refining system. All those stones are pretty much going to be, any that you've got in your inventory are going to be turned straight into universal refining points, so there'll be none of this. All of it will be under one category, so you won't have to worry about putting the right stone in the right artifact. It'll all be a universal refining system, and if what I've heard is true, they're also going to be eliminating the need for, like when you're leveling up an enchantment, you need after level 6, from level 7 onwards, you'll need an enchantment of the same level to upgrade it to the next level. They're taking that out as well, so you're going to be, it's just going to be X amount of points to level up. You've got to reach so many levels. It's like it is with the artifacts, basically. You've got to reach like level 29 to upgrade from blue quality to purple quality. And then level 30, or level 29, the artifact, sorry, from green to blue. And then blue to purple, I think, is 59, something like that. But you've got to, it's basically going to be like that with the enchantments as well, except they're taking out the need for using an enchantment at the same level. So there's going to be just a universal refining system, no difference between refining anything. It's all going to come together to be one universal thing, and every like union stone, resonance stone, stability stone, all those types of stones, any of them you've got in your inventory when this update hits, are going to be automatically converted into refining points, so you can use them on whatever item you want to use them on. So keep that in mind and prepare for the future updates. But anyway, back to business. Now this choice here it's important for your build, so keep your build in mind when you choose an artifact here, because each of them has different qualities. It's like the Lantern of Revelation. This is a brilliant artifact. It's a brilliant artifact to use. Cookie, shush, you're still in my bad books. This is a brilliant one to use if you're playing a DPS character or a healer, because if you're playing a healer, power and critical affects your healing abilities, so the more power you have and the more critical you have, the stronger your heals become. But with the DPS characters as well, it's also very important, because you need your power and critical behind you to dish out tons of damage. So Lantern of Revelation is a perfect artifact to choose if you're going to be making it either a healer or a DPS character. The Waters of El-Azad, is that how you pronounce it? Don't try to sweet talk me, mister. This is actually quite good for a tank, because it increases recovery rate, and gives you the option of healing and whatnot. And until your tank is powered up enough, because your tank is going to rely a lot on its recovery to be able to recharge its abilities. Because if your abilities as a tank aren't charging fast enough, you're not going to be able to tank, because you're not going to be able to taunt the enemy and draw the attention away from all the weaker characters like the healers and DPS characters. And this will also enable you to keep yourself healed as well. So the Waters of El-Azad is really good for a tank build. Now, this one, the Aurora's Home Realm catalogue, this one is kind of like a black sheep one of the three of them. It's not really critical to any real class. This is basically a farming tool. It is awesome. If you're the type of person like me, I'm a completionist at heart. I will go out of my way to do absolutely everything there is in the game, and exploring and dungeon running are one of the things that I love the most to do. And if you're a farmer like me and will go out and farm for all the stuff that you need, this is the perfect artifact for you, because it will allow you to summon a shop no matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be in the middle of running Cragmire Crypt's bloody dungeon and still be able to summon this shop. So if you're an explorer and a farmer and just love going out blooming farming stuff, and this is the artifact for you. The other two are more class based, but this one's exploration based, because none of the stats that it gives really affect any one class over the other. I mean, I think if I remember rightly, it does movement speed, movement gold increase. So if you're going to be doing, what's the other one? The last one is gold gain. I can't remember what the other one is. But anyway, it'll come to me in a minute when I'm not thinking about it. But if you're like me and you love doing your professions, now a lot of people say that there's no point stocking up on gold, blah blah blah. It's like that. There's every point to it, because even though there's not actually a lot that you can buy with it, there are important things that you can buy with it. It's like your professions. If you're a professions fiend like me, and you'll be spending a lot of time developing your professions, gold is a very central figure of your professions, because most of the ingredients all of the ingredients that you can't actually make yourself are bought with gold from the professions vendor in Protector's Enclave, or if you've got a guild with a professions vendor in it, then it'll be bought from them. The gold is a very central figure in your professions, as well as in the development of your guilds. So if you're developing a guild, or you're developing your professions, gold is going to be a very key aspect to that. So that's where the Aurora's Home Realm catalogue comes in handy, because it increases your gold gain when you level it up. Movement, gold gain, and I can't remember. It'll come to me later. I've got this one on my other character, along with the Lantern of Revelation. It's like, for farming purposes, I'm going to be choosing the Aurora's Home Realm catalogue and buying the Lantern of Revelation off the trade house at a later point. But for this point in time, we're going to be getting the catalogue, just for the plain simple reason of the amount of farming we'll be doing. So I'll be unequipping that a sec. Now later on, when we get more artifacts and everything, these three here, you'll only get to use one artifact at a time. So whatever artifact you've got in this slot here is going to be your primary artifact. This is the one you're going to be able to use. All these slots are basically equipping secondary artifacts that will basically act as status boosts, basically. That's all they'll do, is that you'll get the stats from those equipped artifacts, but you won't actually be able to use them unless they're in this slot. So keep that in mind. There we go. Yes. That's perfect. As you level this guy up, he offers more and more equipment for you to buy. It's actually pretty handy. I love him. He is brilliant. We'll be getting rid of all these. Thank you very much. Alright, okay. Oh yeah, I was making them, wasn't I? All these. I might actually identify these, because I need to get rid of some of the identification scrolls. I'm stocking up in my inventory. Okay, but anyway, the more you upgrade this artifact with him, the quicker you can use it. It's like, I think it's every 3 minutes at first, and then it goes down to like 2 minutes, or it goes down, and the summoning time goes down anyway the more you upgrade it. He's a very handy artifact to have. There's been so many times when I first started this game where I've been dungeon running, farming for different things, and then I've needed a shop, and I'm like, now I've got to bloody discard all this stuff.
A wise choice.
So he is a handy artifact to have. Like I said, at a later point, because we're building a healing paladin, I will be getting the Lantern of Revelation to equip to my paladin later on in the game. But we need to reach level 50 to unlock the next slot, then 60 and 70. So there's no point getting it until later on, but that's the artifact we'll be going for, because, like I said, critical and power are crucial for a healer. If you want to build a good healer, you need a ton of power and crit behind you. Now then, let's go back to Blackdagger Ruins. Oh, Goliath, what are you doing?
My spells are at your command.
So, like I said, didn't identify. Oh my goodness. Next week I'm going to make sure that I pick those up so I don't go to that bloody screen every single time. Now, I don't know if they're going to be going through with it. I think I was saying earlier. I'm not 100% sure if they are, because they haven't said anything for definite. They said, you know, before this DLC that hit on the 12th was released, they were doing a discount on Zen. They were doing a Zen discount before it hit, but it was cut short. It wasn't supposed to end when it did. So they're saying that the remaining time to the Zen discount that we were supposed to have, because it was supposed to run all the way up until the DLC itself was released. So because that didn't happen, they're going to be doing another Zen discount for the remaining time. They said either a week or 2 weeks after the DLC hits. So hopefully next week they'll be putting a Zen discount on. And, you know, just throw that out there if you're a money spender.
What can I do for you? So, you're the one the old sergeant sent to help us poor harpers, eh? Well, I'm glad he sent someone competent and open-minded enough to work with us. Lord Neverwinter's had trouble with our organization before. Here's hoping this can be the start of a new relationship between the Harpers and Neverwinter. My partner, a tiefling wizardess named Zaliana, was supposed to meet us here at the Broken Crown, but she never made it. I fear that the Blackdagger bandits might have caught her in an ambush along the high road and killed her. I'm not tough enough to search for her, but I can give you a description so you can look for her body. If you don't find her corpse, then maybe something happened to her ship. Talk to old Glenn, the lighthouse keeper. If her ship was wrecked, he'd have seen it happen. Keep your eyes open.
Not tough enough to look for her, but he's built like a tank. How'd you work that one out? Oh, look at the size of you. 90% of people on the high road wouldn't even want to go near you. You look like a tank. Oh, is it? that ability. Radiant Strike. A lot of people that I see use Radiant Strike don't actually realise that you can use it that way. Normally hit like this. This one I think
What? Who are you? I ain't seen no one named Zaliana around these parts. But then ever since them Blackdagger bandits came back, there ain't been many travelers about. They've even taken over the coast beacons and used them to lure ships onto the rocks. Which might explain why your friend hasn't shown up. Anyway, I seen you kill a few bandits on your way over, and I do appreciate it. Please, take this for your trouble. Them Blackdagger bandits took over the shore beacons, and now they use them to lure ships onto the rocks. I figured that Zaliana person you're looking for was on the ship that wrecked the other night. If she's still alive, she's probably hiding nearby, waiting for a signal to show herself. Yeah. Back in the old days, Harpers used to slip me the odd gold to light the beacons as signals. Might still work. Light 'em up, and if Zaliana is there, she'll see 'em. And you doing that would also save me the trouble of cracking all them bandits' heads. There's a lot of them, and my lumbago might flare up before I was done. You know what would slow them scurvy Blackdaggers down some? I'll tell you. The bandits use their rowboats to capture ships what get run aground offshore. If you was to knock some holes in them rowboats, that would cause a bit of chaos, eh?
Right then. Enemy down there. That's not really going to be an area. Part of the wrong shore. I'm looking forward to getting my dragon. I don't feel like this is my paladin without my dragon. I know a lot of people say the assassin, Drake, is the dragon, but I'm the dragon who's left. So, at least perfect for me, because the way I play with my paladin and whatnot, I use my sanctuary ability for healing more than anything. So I don't have a lot of stamina, and he gives you a stamina regen bonus if you got him as your active companion. Well, we're here. Get that. Still. Completely forgot about these. One. See, I can show you where the other one is while we're thinking about it is what's here. There's 3 in each area. Okay. Show you where the ones I know of are as we go through the guide. I'm still trying to find one in Neverwinter, but it's just not happening. We'll have to go to the Blackdagger ruins later anyway, so I'll show you where that one is later. I'm a swinefish shroud. I can't just leave shroud on the bloody map.
You lose!
Oh, fuck. Now I'm happy. That's those 2. When we go to Blackdagger ruins in a little while, I will show you where the last one is. Excuse me. Late on the scene, in him? That's actually the point. I knew that was coming. So, this is my combination I like. Maybe it's Strike and Templar's Wrath. Combination I use when I'm playing on my own. Otherwise I'll tend to switch out Templar's Wrath for Bond of Virtue. Now I know a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people playing a healing paladin. So few people actually realise Bond of Virtue is key to a good healing paladin. It's like I know a lot of people think that cleric is the best healer on the game. It's not. It's really not. If you know how to build the paladin to be a proper healer, the paladin can be a walk-in healing buff. You know, I mean, and like the cleric that uses magic to buff people out and whatnot. Paladin's different. The paladin is just a walking buff. Anybody who's nearby will be buffed out in whatever blown way. If you know, it's got abilities that can. It's got abilities that can heal nearby people. All you have to do is just be nearby them, and you get you have a constant regeneration on you, you know, or you can be automatically revived just by being near the paladin, depending on the type of auras that they're using. So you can, paladin, if you build it properly, can be a brilliant healer. I mean, the cleric is still more powerful when it comes to single heals, so it can heal quite a lot. It can heal for quite a lot, but it's not still healing groups. You know, healing groups, when it comes to healing groups, they have to be in... they have to be in certain areas for the cleric to be able to heal them. It's like they've got the group regeneration spells that it has basically puts things on the ground for you to... you have to be inside the circles and whatnot for them to heal groups. Otherwise, but it's like their group healing is very restricted. Because it's like you get the heal over time ability, like but you have to be, everybody has to be stood in a line, and the chances of the fat taking is very low. I mean, they compensate for that by adding the option of casting it multiple times, instead of you only being able to cast it once. It's like, I think you get 3 charges to the spell, so you can cast it like 3 times before you have to wait for it to recharge. But the downside is, everybody has to pretty much be stood in a line if you want to get everyone in one spell. Cleric is a very good healer. It is a very good healer, but like I said, it's a single-based healing, powerful, but not really built for group healing. The paladin, on the other hand, it's not as powerful. It's not as powerful as the cleric is for single spells, but it can heal multiple people. It's like Bond of Virtue. It basically increases the radius of the heal, so like, you've got Sanctuary here. Anybody in that circle will get a damage resistance boost, as well as being healed. But if you've got Bond of Virtue on, that radius increases, so you have a big massive yellow circle around you, 60 feet from in, a 60-foot radius, so that healing ability turns into a 60-foot radius. So if you're within 60 feet of the paladin when the Bond of Virtue is active, all you have to do is just heal whoever's next to you, and everybody inside that circle will get healed as well. Paladin's brilliant healer for play, but it's not as powerful. The healing abilities aren't as powerful, but it can heal so many at once. So even if you're running things like Demogorgon or Tiamat, and there's like 25 people around you, you're still going to be able to heal all of them as the paladin, but not for as much as the cleric. Cleric is a brilliant healer, but like I said, it's more one-on-one. It's designed better for... Yeah, it's better used for buffing and healing. I've seen so many people using the cleric. They turn them into buffers more than healers, because the cleric is a brilliant, cleric is a brilliant buffer. But I mean, don't let the lack of healing abilities in the early stages fool you into thinking that the paladin is a shit healer, because it's not. No, trust me on this. Once you've taken your oath of devotion, once you take the oath of devotion and start developing your paladin, it may not look like a very good healer at first, but as you develop it, the paladin in the later stages shines as a healer. It really does. Cleric is the opposite way round. In the early stages, it's really impressive, but as you go further into the game, it starts lacking a bit. I mean, once you hit level 70 and you start developing, it starts catching up again. But the paladin's the opposite way round. It starts off really weak, and then it comes into its own and starts shining. And it stays that way if you know what you're doing. Like I said, if you're building a healer, power and critical are important. Show that to you as we go through the game. Like I said, once I've Once I've taken you through the main campaign and we start hitting higher levels, I will show you. You know, I'll show you what I'm on about. I'll focus more on the build side of it, and I'll be explaining it as I go on the build. I will be focusing on the builds, and I'll even introduce you to the tank when we build a second loadout. So a lot of people mess up on tank builds and healing builds. You know, not so much the healers as much as the tanks, because a lot of people want to put pure DPS into a character, but with the paladin, because it's not an offensive character, it's pure defense. You know, it's either a tank or a healer, both of which are defensive support characters. You know, unlike the others that have got like DPS, they got DPS aspects to them. Paladin's not like that. So if you want to make your paladin dish out some damage, you're going to have to focus on this. You're going to have to work on your armor pen. That's the key to making the paladin dish out damage, if you want it to dish out damage. A lot of people think it's critical, but it's not, because I'll show you what I mean as we get our stats up there a bit. Once we hit level 30, you'll be able to start really developing the paladin. But you know, have to wait until then. I'm nearly level 27 now, so. So I think that's probably part of the reason why with this latest update, that they put on the, you know, for the new area with all the dinosaurs and everything. I think that's part of the reason why they've made it crucial for you to have to work on your armor pen, because so few people realised that armor pen was more critical to your damage output than critical itself was. A lot of people make guides saying focus on your critical, focus on your critical, but critical is only it's only important to focus on critical if you're playing a character that's on natural armor pen, you know, like the Trickster Rogue or, you know, any of the DPS characters, because their equipment comes naturally with armor pen, so you're not really going to notice the difference the armor pen's making, because it's always there. You know, so, you know, critical has become a bit overrated in my opinion, because like I said, a lot of the people that make guides that tell you focus on developing your critical strike, and a lot of those people play characters that have got natural armor pen, so they don't really notice the difference that armor penetration
Good to see another non-bandit on this beach.
Why I think that developers made it so that you have to increase your armor penetration if you want to do well in the new area they've added, because critical has become so overrated. You know, a lot of people are having to respec their characters to deal with the new area. You know, I know a lot of people that are building characters based on old information, which is part of the reason why I'm making this guide, because, you know, there's not really a decent up-to-date guide on the game on character building and
The end of the Blackdagger bandits starts today.
Yeah, like I said, we'll sort that out as soon as we get into the later areas of the game. I will walk you through why I've chosen to build my paladin the way that I'm building it.
I am Zaliana, wizard and agent of the Harpers, and I am at your service. Seven Toes was hoping Neverwinter would send an army, but I've often found a few adventurers like us can be far more effective.
Hey, level 27. 3 more levels. Be able to choose my own. And then I'll be very happy.
The Blackdagger bandits salvagers pick through the wreckage of the ships they lure onto the rocks, taking anything of worth and selling shipwrecked survivors into slavery. Killing these heartless men will hurt the bandits and give some justice to their victims. The bandits lured our ship onto the rocks, and my sealed orders and all of my gear washed ashore for them to salvage. If I'm to carry out my investigation and help you with yours, I'll first need your aid to recover my equipment.
Ooh. Come on then. See how deceiving that is. Doing things like that before you hit level 30, the paladin...
Sense evil magic here.
It doesn't look like the paladin would be a good healer, but you'd be surprised. Paladin's actually an amazing healer if you put work into it. And let's see. One into courage.
The Harpers need your help.
Hello, good crumpet. Hello. I think the reason why so many people actually begrudge the paladin is because of the fact that they nerfed it. I think that's part of the reason why paladin has gotten such a bad reputation in the community. Because they nerfed the paladin. Well, paladin tanks more than anything. It was overpowered and could basically make you invincible. So they completely and utterly nerfed it so that wasn't possible anymore, and ever since then people have been reluctant to play as a paladin. The paladin is actually it's a very good tank and healer. Say the best tank in my opinion. Saying depending on the circumstances as well. The best healer. If you're doing group activities like the dragon fights and whatnot, it's always good to have a cleric along. It's always a good thing to have the cleric along if you're doing group dungeons like that require loads of people. it's always a wonderful thing to have a cleric in your party. But I think because of the nerfing session that they did to Paladin, people don't know the Paladin anymore. It's no longer make you invincible for the rest of everyone that they don't want to know. Paladin. I'd rather have a well-built healing Paladin in my group than a cleric. Because, I mean, for one, you know, one reason for that is that Paladin is pretty straightforward. It's not massively complicated. You don't have, if you want it to be a specialist healer, all you have to do is just focus on the one. That's like the defeat line, little paragon of life. That's the healing. That's the healing bloody Paladin right there. Bulwark Paladin is the tank. Justice Paragon is for basically if you want to try turning your Paladin into a DPS tank, which I know a lot of people do. But the Paladin is a brilliant character. It's so straightforward, it's so simple, and it's so effective. The Cleric, on the other hand, it can be, like I said, it can be a very powerful healer. It can, but it takes a lot of work to get it that way. You know, it's the more powerful of the two if you're targeting single targets. But as for group healing, the Paladin is the way to go. You know, but the Cleric is so easy to mess up because it is such a complicated system. Because with the feats, like I just showed you there with the Paladin, everything's straightforward. You know, Paragon Light, healer, Bulwark, tank. You know, Paragon of Justice. You know, turn it into a DPS. It's pretty straightforward. With the Cleric, it's bouncing all over the place. You want aspects of all different ones to be able to build a good healing Cleric. You know, so you're bouncing there, you're there and everywhere with your feet, and you know, building a good healing Cleric is not really specialising in anything. You know, I mean, I was there building my Cleric when I was still playing on the Xbox before Microsoft completely pissed me off and I bought my PlayStation and told them to go fuck themselves. I say, when I was building my Cleric, I was there and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, Cleric's just not, it's not good enough to warrant all this bloody crap. Because I can't handle like this, you know, I mean, no offense to anybody that loves the Cleric, no offense at all. If that's your playstyle, you know, I commend your patience. Me, I haven't got the patience for the Cleric because I'm an up close and personal fighter. I'm a defensive fighter, and you know, I play better on the defense, but not that much on the bloody defense when I'm constantly having to dodge everything. I'd rather be a Paladin, be able to defend and then strike back, be in the center of the battle, and be able to take the hit. The Cleric's just not for me. I love healing, but I don't want to be spending most of my time dodging enemies.
Cause me no trouble, or I'll give you a whooping. Found the rowboats, did you? That'll slow them down.
Oh, I got my items in my overflow bag, right, okay.
If it weren't for my rickets, I'd crack all you bandits across the top.
Hello. You're still in my bad books. Oh, don't hurt me. Don't even go there. Don't try and sweet talk me, you stroppy
You're
sod.
lucky my lumbago's flaring up.
Don't try and sweet talk me. You're still in my bad books. No. Some of this crap. Oh, defense, deflection, well, you know. Like the defense, no, I don't want the loss of power, even if it is only 22 power. More defense, but deflection don't really need full movement. Okay. That's something that a lot of people make a mistake when they're building their tanks, and it's something that I see a lot of people making those particular mistakes, is that they think that defense is all you need for every single character. It's not. For the paladin, yeah, that is pretty much all you're going to need, because the paladin is a pure defense character, like I keep saying, but it has its health, its hit points can go through the roof. You can have, like, you know, before this update, before the new DLC anyway, you could get up to like 150k health on a paladin, something that you would never reach with the Guardian Fighter tank. You know, so the Guardian Fighter, it needs the deflection because it'll never have the HP to be able to be a pure defense-based tank. It needs to have a balance of defense and deflection, rather than focusing purely on the defense. Because if you can't deflect damage back at your attacker, you're pretty much screwed, because you can never build your defensive capabilities up high enough with a Guardian Fighter to be able to fend off the attack for, you know, considering how much HP it's got. So the Paladin, on the other hand, has got such huge amounts of health that you don't really need massive amounts of deflection, and it doesn't have the attack power behind it to warrant focusing on deflection. So focusing on your defense is more important if you're building a Paladin tank, because it's not by shush. Stop being rude. Because the defense, you can get your defense on a Paladin up so high that you won't need to deflect. You won't need to deflect the damage back at the attacker, because it'll, you know, you can get your defensive ability. Like I built a healer. I've built another healer, and you know, despite the fact that my defense, I've had a lot of people in dungeons just like criticize my item level, because I'm only like, it's only got like 9,000 item level. My defensive capabilities, my defense is only like 7,000 defense, but my defensive capability, my defense percentage, damage resistance is over 40%, despite the fact that I've only got like 7k defense, and half the time my healer is actually tanking better than a lot of tanks. You know, which I get really upset about, because there's so few up-to-date guides on tank building online. You know, it's all based off old information. You know, so you know, the Guardian Fighter can be a really good tank, but no, it's not by. Stop trying to get rid of people, you rude sod. You know, the Guardian Fighter is a balanced character. It can dish out more damage than the Paladin, but it's not got the defensive capability of the Paladin. So its HP is nowhere near as high. But the Paladin can be an amazing tank, because it's, you know, pumping a ton into your defense, getting up your defensive capabilities, which is easy for the Paladin anyway, because, you know, it's one of its primary stats, and also the Constitution will also help increase your damage resistance. But something that I find that a lot of people actually neglect, that also encourages your defensive capabilities, is this: your armor class. I see so many people neglecting the armor class because they don't think that they don't think anything of it. But it contributes to your damage resistance. So having high armor class will also encourage your defensive capabilities. That's how come my healing paladin has got like 40k defense, even though I've only got like it's got 40% defense. Sorry, despite the fact that I've only got like 7k defensive value. It's because I focused on my constitution and my armor class. You know, so having high defense, constitution and armor class on a paladin will put your defensive capabilities through the roof. Okay, and you will be tanking like there's no tomorrow. Say with a Guardian Fighter though, like I said, it's important to have an equal amount of deflect as you've got defense. Because you'll never get your health up high enough to warrant a pure defense. A pure defense Guardian Fighter, and it doesn't have the abilities to be like the Paladin does. I mean, it can give itself shields and stuff like that, but the Paladin tank, the Paladin in general, mind you, has a lot of health-based abilities, especially the tank. So keep that in mind if you're choosing to build a tank character. And I'd advise as well, try not to focus too much on your DPS, because if you focus too much on dishing out damage as a paladin, you'll end up dying a lot, because the armor penetration is never going to be a key feature in any of your paladin's equipment. You'll get the occasional bit of equipment that will increase your armor penetration, but nowhere near as many bits of equipment as the rest of the classes get, because it is all defense. It doesn't matter, healer or tank, they're both defensive support. So you'll never get anywhere near the amount of armor penetration from equipment that you'll get from other characters. So if you want your paladin to be able to dish out damage, critical comes naturally to the paladin anyway, especially the healer. If you want to build a DPS based paladin, you're better off building a healer than a tank, because power and critical are key to a healer anyway, so those you'll be increasing to increase your healing abilities. So if you want to make it also dish out some damage, all you have to do is put in a couple of enchantments into offensive slots to increase your armor pen, or get the occasional boon for armor penetration, and you'll be surprised of how much your healer will dish out some damage. But if you try to do that with a tank, you will be sacrificing your defense, and you won't be able to tank anything. I've seen people make that mistake so many times, where they try to make a tank a DPS character, and it's not going to work, because if because the paladin is all defense, if you try to sacrifice that defense, you're not going to be a tank or a DPS character, because you're not going to be able to take a hit at all. And the paladin tank, near enough every single ability that the tank has involves taunting. So it's like, I mean, I'll give you an example now.
If it weren't for my rickets, I'd crack all you bandits.
I mean, this ability down here, Vow of Enmity, I use this quite a lot with my healer, because it enables me to be able to keep everybody healed regardless of where I am. So it's like, Oath of Protection, allies who strike your vow target build threat for the paladin. So as a tank, that's everything about the tank. You want the threat to be coming your way. You want to draw the attention away from all the characters that can't take a hit like the paladin can. So you'll be there building threat, and if you're trying to tank your way through a dungeon, if you turn your paladin into a DPS character, you're not going to be able to take the hit because the paladin generates so much threat naturally anyway. For some reason, the AI is programmed to hate the paladin. I've seen it so many times where it'll ignore other characters and just go straight for the paladin. Happens to me all the time. I run Demogorgon, and you know, I'm a healer, I'm not even a tank, and I'm there running Demogorgon, and Demogorgon's coming for me straight from word go. We've got a second healer in the blooming party, and it still wants to kill me because I'm a paladin. It'll leave the cleric alone, come straight for the paladin every single time. If there's a paladin in the group, it'll go for the paladin. So it builds natural threat anyway, and the tank's abilities increase that threat regeneration. So if you're going to be trying to make your tank a DPS character, you're going to be sacrificing your ability to be able to hold your own, and you will be dying a lot. You know, so don't make the mistake of thinking that you can tank just fine if you focus on building up your power and critical as a tank, because with the healing with paladin, that's not going to happen. You know, because you will have to put too much work into developing it to dish out damage, because it has no armor penetration. You know, so if you want to make a paladin that's going to dish out damage, make a healer. Don't make a tank, because otherwise you'll be making more work for yourself and sacrificing your tanking abilities to do it. So, you know, keep that in mind, because like I've said, as the healer, you're going to have to increase your... Yeah. Oh, shush. You're going to have to increase your power and critical anyway to affect your healing ability. So the only thing that you're going to have to do, it doesn't take as much work to make a DPS paladin making a healer as it does a tank, because you can, you know, these two are naturally going to increase your healing abilities, and all you'll have to do is just put a little bit of armor pen in, and there you go. You've got a paladin that's dish out a nice amount of damage while at the same blooming time keeping everyone healed. Brilliant combination. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's what we're working on.
You bandits best stay off my property.
Overflow bag. And a noisy bird in the background who thinks he's going to sweet talk me after his misbehaviour earlier. Oh, yeah, oh, exactly. You know you've been naughty. You know you've been naughty, telling me off for going out, you cheeky sod.
Those downhill pirates took my seats in.
Stop trying to get rid of people. Stop being rude.
It would make an old
Don't give me those eyes either.
If you would fetch it back for me, and knock a few of them bandits on the head while you do it. In trade, I'll let you in as to where they have a secret cove. That's where they offload their booty before taking it to Jared Grimm. The treasure's yours. I just want my sea chest back.
Right then.
If it weren't for my rickets, I'd track all you bandits
All
across
the
the town.
documents. What's in the Zaliana? Yeah, we're not recovering all the documents yet because we have to go back to Blackdagger anyway, part of this actual campaign, so we'll do it all while we're there. I'm so looking forward to getting to level 30.
Excellent work. Slaying those salvagers will slow down the Blackdagger bandits' operations and give some peace to the many brave sailors they'd killed. Please, accept this reward on behalf of the Harpers for your good work. Excellent. I'll get equipped in a moment, but let's look at these orders first.
Oh, shush.
It seems that while Treven is in this area, we don't have the exact location of his lair. However, we do know that he's working through 4 intermediaries. We'll need a plan, but for now, Please accept this reward on behalf of the Harpers for your help so far. We're in luck. One of the Blackdagger bandit leaders, the wizardess Marion Hexbane, controls their shipwrecking and salvaging from a nearby cave. Killing her will stop that operation and give us a chance to look for more clues about where to find the other leaders. This could be the first step to finding Traven Blackdagger himself.
Sessions done. Let's see. I think no, I need level 7, don't I? That's why they're there. Oh, no, no. Level 5. Then one's there. Make them. No, it's not buy. Stop trying to get rid of people with a stroppy sword.
The Harpers need your help.
All the documents. Oh, go away. Right, all the documents. CK, we'll do that one first. That's so funny. What are you laughing at, eh? What are you very laughing at, Strop? Strop. Oh boy. All this way to try and kill me, computer, really?
Let's see what the world has to offer today.
Say. Be sure to invoke as often as possible. And I'd recommend doing a ton of invoking for the dungeons because it'll increase the amount of astral diamonds that you earn. I mean, you may think in the early stages that refining 36k astral diamonds a day is a lot. In the later stages, it's not as much as you think, because in the later stages, when you start being able to run dungeons like Demogorgon especially, you know, and Throne of the Dwarven Gods and Prophecy of Madness, dungeons like that, they give you a lot of astral diamonds anyway to refine, but, well, not so much Demogorgon, but Throne and Prophecy, but you'll get so many good items that are salvageable from them, and get so many rough astral diamonds from salvaging them that before you know it, you're gonna have like 100k rough astral diamonds to refine, but not, you know, you can only refine 36k of them each day. It's like my other character has often got like tomorrow's refinement ready before the day is reset. It's pain. Because you see it sitting there and you're there thinking, oh my goodness, I really need those diamonds to buy something. You can actually a good deal of astral diamonds for your professions, especially alchemy, because once you hit 25 alchemy, alchemy is actually pretty easy to do as well, you know, but it's actually very good to do unified elements that you can make once you hit level 25 and learn the recipe for them. Will actually make you a lot of money on the trade house, because I've never seen them sell for lower than like 25,000-30,000 astral diamonds, and at the moment they're up to over 50,000 each, and they're needed for a lot and you can farm the items needed for them in the Elemental Evil campaigns easy enough. Just go to those areas, farm in. You can even pick them up from, once you hit level 70, you can even pick them up from skill checks, you know, like the Arcane, Religion, so on and so forth. So, you know, there's a lot of money to be made if you do plan on developing a profession. Couldn't remember whether it was this area. Excellent. That's gonna be an item you'll use a lot of in making equipment. Stock up on as much as you can if you're planning on developing your professions. Kink it? Oh, 75% chance to fail again. Thievery kits. Those ones are good. Those ones are good because they always drop a lot of profession-related gear. This makes me laugh though. All the equipment you pick up from like quests and whatnot, half the time you pick up better equipment just running around killing things than you do from actual quests. I don't actually think I've equipped a single piece of armor that I've gotten from a quest, because by the time I finish that quest, armor equipped already. Are you still trying to sweet talk me, mister? Not this one. I get them mixed up. We come to this area as part of the Drowned Shore, part of the campaign of the Elemental Evil. What? Don't give me those faces. You're supposed to be in my bad books for your naughty behaviour earlier, mister. Stop trying to sweet talk me into getting you to forgive me. Peekaboo. You are too charismatic for your own good, you know that? You're too charismatic for your own good.
Good to see another non-bandit on this beach. The end of the Blackdagger bandits starts today. Hexbane's death is a grand victory, but finding her journal and that map may be even more important. They should give us some good leads to finding the rest of the Blackdagger bandits' leadership. But first, every ship on the Sword Coast owes you a debt. Since they can't thank you, please accept this reward from me on their behalf. Hexbane's journals mention that getting leverage over a dwarven merchant named Melkor Goldseeker was important to the plans of Crag Foultooth, the leader of the Blackdagger bandits' gnolls. I'd like you to confront Goldseeker at the Broken Crown Inn and find out why the bandits are interested in him.
Right, this isn't fair. This isn't fair. You know full well I can't resist very long because you're so bloody charming, you're bloody pain in the ass. You stop trying to sweet talk me. You have been naughty and you're in my bad books. Accept that and stop trying to get me to forgive you sooner. Ew. Still got that quest. This way. Let's get this one out of the way, then we can head up to the other part.
My magic is yours.
Oh, almost level 28, excellent. Right then. That's something got to check actually. Skirmishes. Alright, straight to Helm. 35, that's not too bad. Do that in a minute. You want to keep an eye on the screen. I mean, I'd love it if they made it like the level scaling, but if you go too high on level, you won't be able to take part in some of those skirmishes. So, you know, I know I've said it before, but just keep an eye on your level and what skirmishes. If you miss them, you won't be able to do them.
You're going down! Smithing and weaponsmithing items. wish my aid?
That's finished.
Cause me no trouble, or I'll give you a whooping. My chest. Thank you kindly. It has all the letters my sweet Rohini wrote me back in my sailing days.
I'll explain the build again in a little more detail in later videos as we start getting higher on level. I can't really show you why I'm building it that way until like until level 30 when we start unlocking the oaks and we start to see why I'm building it the way that I am. I mean, it all depends on your style of play as well. Like I said, I'm an up close and personal fighter. That's why I don't like the cleric. I don't like having to dodge things. I can't pick a hit and not being in the centre of the battle. It just drives me up the wall. Let's take it bloody documents again. Let's get this bloody thing out of the way. Drag my head. Right then. This is the last part here. As you saw at the beginning of the video, I've already equipped the scrying stone to my item tray. So just use the scrying stone. You can use this item as many times as you want, there's no limit on usage for it, but it does run out. It will see. There's the final scrying stone, we'll get that in a minute. That's the final scrying stone for this area. Oh, excuse me. Hello. Oh. here looking for bloody scrolls now, and now that I'm here, it's trying to take me back to that old Super Blast. Pretty typical.
Time to end this!
Oh. Making stuff from the character anyway, so... Very nice. I've already completed it. I wasn't paying attention. Right then, now we've done that then. Yeah. And that's that, finished, finally. All I need to do then is just take things back to the seer. Oh.
Arcane Fury!
You can't stop me!
Where's the music from? There we go.
Heed well some hard-won advice. Avoid trading in bandit territories. I don't know what you're talking about. No, it's all true. I was a fool. Now the bandits and that maniac Noel have ruined everything, and there's nothing left I can do. I'm ruined, and my own niece is doomed.
But wait, you said you were working with the Harpers. Maybe you can help me.
The Blackdagger bandits found out that I'd started some mines in the hills, and that I'd found some ancient ruins in one of them. I tried to strike a deal with them, but they wanted everything. Now, I'm seeing my looted wagons on the roads, and I haven't heard from my niece back at base camp.
Please, could you check the logbooks on the wagons to see if they were from my caravan? And then go to the base camp to find out what happened to my niece?
You wish my aid? Oh, what a choice.
Oh, goodness. What do you mean you can't right now? Summon my horse.
Hear my power!
You don't actually, you don't actually get sent to all the areas Blackdagger ruins. It's part of the campaign. So I think you do as part of the side quest that depends all depends on the races that you choose to play as. These insignias and whatnot that you pick up. Oh, excuse me. Some of the people that I'm speaking to realise they're usable for buying stuff, and you can buy some really good stuff with them from the Bounty Master. I wouldn't recommend buying any equipment from them though, it's all random and it's usually but you can get some good stuff from the bags. If you choose the bags instead you get a lot of items from them. Union. I got the way back to Union? I'm not sure. Spike Castle's on taking back. I think it's every... I haven't really been paying attention. It's every half hour, isn't it? Or is it every hour? I think it's every half hour.
There's some things I think Mr. Goldseeker would want done. If you're here to help, then I'm glad to meet you. I'm Sergeant Yates. Most folks just call me Dusty. I guess I'm the one in charge. Or at least I'm the one the other survivors keep asking questions. So I guess they like my answers. Was there something else? Crag Foultooth is a crazy gnome bandit who took over the mines, and he's got Mr. Goldseeker's niece, Mira Thamrose, as his hostage. I'm thinking someone with your skills could get in there, kill Crag Foultooth, and rescue Mira. Are you up for it?
Yeah, why not?
The Blackdagger bandits hit our caravan before we could get to the mines. We holed up here, but every runner we sent to tell Mr. Goldseeker what happened has been caught by the bandits' no blood trackers. If you can kill some of those blood trackers, we can make contact and get some supplies. I could really use the help of a person of your stature. We're holding our own here in the camp, but anytime we venture out, bandit huntsmen start tracking and shooting us. It would be a great help if you could go and clear them out. Let them know who's in control of the high road.
Okay. Let's go, Goliath. Some of these quest areas make me laugh because you'll actually find half of the stuff that you need to either find or kill outside of the blue main marked area. Hello, Spike. Run as fast as you want. You're not going to outrun fast. yourself. Claim VIP before streaming. Choice. Really? I'm really glad that they increased the respawn times of enemies for some areas, but not for others. It's a pain. Let's see. I think we've got slots, so that's what does happen. It's power defense. Okay, fine. Keep this one on. 1 minute. Why not loud? Damn you, AI. I hate that. That's one thing I fucking fix inventory is how to start moving. A number of times I've been in a stronghold and I've gone into my inventory and then I've ended up bloody running into a wall. here. You don't come here and build them in until you unlock the elemental evil campaign. Me, I'm a pain in the ass. I love exploring. The shroud drives me up the wall. I'm the random gamer that you'll find stood up on top of weird places like this, looking out at the scenery. So if you see someone stood on top of a building or stood on top of a cliff and just standing there doing absolutely nothing, it's probably me. Delay the video by reading through them. I normally read every piece of lore I pick up, even if I'm in the middle of a fight. I'll just bring up the lore so anyone watching the video later can just pause the video and read them if they like. Unless it's important. People don't actually realise this here. See, the only reason I do is because, like I said, I'm a swine for Shroud and I love exploring. I mean, I would love to actually play this game with people, but I can't. I can't. I mean, stand not exploring a dungeon. So if I'm playing with somebody that just wants to run through it, I get so stressed out. Critical power, okay. So the hit points got to get tested anyway. Bring it on. So that will be going in my bank for later. Use it for what's the word I'm trying to think of? Customizing. That's the one. I think that's got an enchantment slot. No, I don't want to take them all. Yes, please. Get rid of some of these stones and enchantments and all. I'm not going to bother using these for refining stones. I'm going to keep for later for my equipment. These enchantments, they don't offer much experience, and I'm going to be equipping. I'm not even going to use the rune stones because I've got VIP for my character, so I come in, I pick up a load of different stuff and treasure chests each day on my other character that I'll just transfer up to this one to use. And I'm just gonna put all my enchantments and everything into refining. Cool. Okay. Some of the stuff looks elven, others it's like, well, that looks more human design than elven. What's that doing here? I know this is the place. Wow. I mean, that type of thing you would see in an elven dungeon. They've got a big massive head as well with the... Then there's this one that's very grim recently. You only find in human-made temples and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, that's a bit out of place. Why is that here? This is supposed to be the ruin of an elven city. That's one but you went out of place. It's usually something you find in a human-made crypt, not an elven city. There's the head. Religion skill. Perfect. Those I'm definitely going to need when I come in. Fundamental Earth I'm going to need when my professions reach level 25. Resident mode, that I'm going to need all the way throughout. The weapons and smithing and nail smithing and all those types of armor and light
Thank you for rescuing me. Before you go, I need to tell you something. Crag Foultooth was visited by another one of their leaders, a man named Jareth Grimm. Crag told him about the dig, and then Grimm said he was returning to Blackdagger Keep to report. I think that's the old name of the ruins up on the hill, so he's probably still up there.
Excellent, thank you for the tip. Excuse me. Oh, even better. See what I mean? You pick stuff up that tends to be better than the stuff you actually get from the missions. That's awesome.
Let's see what's out there.
I need to get a message back to Mr. Goldseeker.
Much better. Right then.
We'll be fine out here on our own. Yep, Mira and a couple others came down and told us what you'd done. Word is, even old Mr. Goldseeker cracked a smile when he heard his niece was safe. I've been authorized to pay you, and I'm glad to do it. Was there something else? That's real good news. We'll be able to get some runners back to Mr. Goldseeker and finally get some supplies. Please, take this gold in thanks. That was quick work. I could hear the howling of the gnolls from here. I nearly forgot. A woman named Zaliana came looking for you while you were in the mine. She said she'd just discovered something important and couldn't wait. She told me to tell you that there's a Harper spy named Garl Gnarlclaw who will help you finish off the Blackdagger bandits.
Excellent. Right, well, as I said earlier about the bounty master, picking up all those things.
There's a bounty on Blackdagger.
These are the ones you want. Every area has them. You're better off picking these up than these things, but these will just give you equipment, and most of the time it gives you a load of shit, so there's really no point in risking getting these. Just get these ones. They give you a choice of weapons or a bounty assortment pack. It's the bounty assortment pack that you want. I'll show you why now. I mean, you could either get a piece of equipment if you want, it's your choice.
Things aren't looking too
Piece
good.
of equipment, two pieces of equipment there, or this. Open it. Professions, refinement, and potion pouch. As you get higher on level, you actually get more stuff from these
Could
things.
use a little help, friend.
Enchantments. Loads of stuff from your professions. These come in handy if you're going to be doing your professions. If you're running around killing stuff anyway, remain collecting those things, and, you know, getting them. Easy professions, resources. There we go. As you get higher on level, you get better stuff from them. So even from the low level areas like this, if you've got a load of those, you can pick them up and get loads of good stuff. The enchantments tend to vary in level depending on the power of your character. So depending on the stats of your character and its level and everything, you know, depending on the type of stuff. It's like when you hit level 70, you actually get 5 bags instead of the 3. Out of those things, it adds a couple of extra things from them, and there's more bags to get enchantments. So
Well met,
it's good
friend.
to save them up for later.
Feel free to fight any bandits you may see. They are no friends of mine. Zaliana told me you'd be coming, and I should help you put an end to the Blackdagger bandits. Having lived among them for months as a spy, it will be my pleasure to see them wiped out to the last man.
One more level.
Your efforts
have already thrown the Blackdagger bandits into disarray. I know how they work, and now is the time to strike. Call their numbers, and weaken their command structure by killing their officers. Your efforts have caused Jareth Grimm, the battle leader of the Blackdagger bandits, to reveal himself. He set up headquarters in the tower called Grimstorm Keep, deep within the ruins, where he's even now planning how to best stop you. Turn the tables, kill him, and the Blackdagger bandits will be scattered and broken. We've managed to get a siege tower to the bridge. Lower the siege tower gate, enter Blackdagger Keep, and slay Malice Blackdagger.
Straightforward.
The only good bandit is a dim.
Second.
Now is the place of the Blackdagger bandits.
Oh, okay. Just leveled up on me. Right then. I think I'll wind it down because I always like having at least one offense and one healing.
Deliver Blackdagger insignia and be rewarded.
So, healing bonds. That's what I'll be using daily later. Final feet in there. The good thing about playing as the human, because you get 23 heroic points to spend instead of 20. Say now from the next level onwards we'll be getting points to put into these, and we'll be focusing on the light paragon path because we're building a full-blown healer, so
Free grog for bounty hunters.
Death to the bandits.
bandits and bandit officers, right, okay. Oh, not this time. You can get out of that wall. Oh, this Hello, my grumpy crumb. love you too. There's a chest box. Oh, really? Play like that. Watch you. Not very nice.
You wish my aid? A wise choice.
These waves. Imagine sitting at this table having a meal. Conversations would be a bit of a pain. Oh really? I was admiring you. See what I mean? Everything wants to become powered. Goes down, recovery goes down. Okay, don't really want to equip that Mace of Judgment because it's got armor penetration on it, and that's not something you see very often on paladin items. So if I equip it, I'd be kind of reluctant to unequip it because of that armor penetration. lifesteal. Regeneration is more important for the paladin than lifesteal because a lot of people think that lifesteal is important for every character. It's not. For a tank, especially, regeneration is more important than lifesteal because regeneration will... Most people make the mistake of assuming that regeneration only affects your regeneration outside of battle. It doesn't. It also increases your bonus healing. So if you're building a tank, having high regeneration is important because a lot of, level 70 dungeons especially, you can't go into a dungeon without a healer. Every single dungeon has to have a healer. So, building a tank, you need high regeneration. Lifesteal isn't important for a tank because of the fact of every single dungeon that you do will need at least one healer in it. Some of them require 2 or 3, so you're going to have a healer at hand to keep you healed regardless of what dungeon you're doing. So the higher your regeneration, the more the healer can keep you healed, and if the healer's a good healer anyway and has high amounts of healing, that's doubled or even tripled sometimes depending on how high your regeneration is. So having high regeneration is more important than lifesteal for a tank. So if a tank takes massive amounts of damage, if you're teamed up with a really good healer, you can literally heal them from virtual death to full health instantly. If the tank has got high regeneration and the healer's got high power and critical. Here comes my explorers with the instinct. See, I'm the type of person that for the first time running a dungeon is the one opening the mimics. I'm feeling faster than like Gollum right now. My precious. Over here for a minute. There we go. See, I love running around exploring these dungeons because some of these places you can only pick up once in the whole game. Others, you will get another chance to turn the thing around to be identical the first time you came here. This place being one of them. I think you come here 2 or 3 times, but each time is different, and some areas, like these areas here, are locked. You can't actually enter them. So it's all good. Every time I come here, I feel the need to play the theme tune to the Pirates of the Caribbean. Sorry, you gotta do it. It just has to be done. It's a love, I guess. See what I mean? 75% chance to succeed my art. As I said in other videos, I won't be doing the actual dungeons themselves for each of the areas until we've actually finished the campaign itself, and then we'll just run through all of them. Show you.
Well met, friend. Feel free to fight any bandits you may see. They are no friends of mine.
Really?
Death to the... Excellent. My only regret is that I couldn't be there to see it. I've had to live among those scum for months, and I assure you every single one of them deserved a far worse fate. Speaking of deserving things, Zoliana left me some gold to pay you for your work. Please, accept it with my thanks. This is great news! I shall inform the Harpers immediately. With the Blackdagger bandits' leadership in shambles, there'll be much less of a threat to trade. It's unfortunate Zoliana hasn't returned yet to thank you. But no matter. On behalf of the Harpers, I'd like to present you with a handsome reward. Zoliana discovered a darker force controlling the Blackdagger bandits from the crypts deep beneath Blackdagger ruins. She went to hunt down the two powers in charge, a wizard named Kalos Tam, and a powerful pirate lord, Traven Blackdagger. She hasn't returned, and I fear the worst. The Harpers will pay well for you to investigate, and to finish her mission if she has fallen. Jareth Grimm has been thwarted, and with his death, the Blackdagger bandits are no longer a significant threat. On behalf of the Harpers and all good peoples of the Sword Coast, I'd like to thank you for what you've done. Please, tell Sergeant Knox all that's happened. Perhaps this is the first step in bridging the gap between us and Neverwinter.
And then... So you can enter here for the Cragmere Crypts if you want to, but like I said, I'll be running through all of these in future videos. I'll just do all of the... I'll do a video specifically for the dungeons. I'll probably do that on my other character though. This area finished. Back to Detective Enclave to hand in the Seers quest as well. And that'll be pretty much it for this video. Because I've been streaming for 3 hours now and I've got to get back to the guild. So... Come on.
My magic.
This then is our
That's questions up.
I will never bow!
Not available. So I only play this character for the most part streaming. I sign into it every day to collect VIP rewards, but I mostly only play it when I'm streaming, so it's on.
Protector's Enclave needs your help. It's a good thing we sent you out there. Had Jareth Grimm succeeded, he would have threatened the entire Sword Coast. I'm also glad to hear our trust in the Harpers was well-founded. I have a feeling they'll prove helpful again soon.
Now, here, we've reached level 20. We're over level 20. Over level 26, so we've unlocked the Tony Dragons campaign, but we'll start that next week when we go to Neverdeath Graveyard, because that'll be the start of that campaign.
I foresee great things for you. Ah, I see. This is helpful. I'm sorry, I'm just a little disappointed. Although I should have expected as much. Finding the Staff of Savos is not just a matter of detecting its location in the material plane, but also where it will be in the future. To do that, I must hone my powers of divination. This makes your assistance even more vital to my search. Please continue to update me on major events in your life as they come to pass. I will call on you again when I resume my search for the staff.
A lot of people forget about this store. Now, as you progress through the level 60 campaign, you will actually be able to get enough symbols of Cerberus to buy everything she has here. You know, I'd recommend leaving the Stone of Health for one of the last ones. If you pick up anything, you're probably better off picking it up either the Horse or the Minstrel. You know, you won't be able to equip the Globe of the Third Eye, even though it's good. You know, most people don't use it because of the fact you can only put it up to epic quality. It doesn't go any higher. But it's not a usable item. It's a secondary artifact. All it does is increase your stats. It has no powers whatsoever. So it's good if you're just starting out in the game. When you hit level 50 and you know, you can come and claim that and just get an extra power boost. It's good for DPS characters because it increases a lot of stats. Like DPS and healers will benefit from the status boost that the Third Eye will give you, but it is just a temporary thing until you can get better ones. But starting off with one of these is probably better off for you, and leave the retrain token for if you need to retrain your character for whatever reason. The Stone of Health, because it's got 50 uses, but it heals your character up to maximum health, so you're better off waiting until the later stages to pick that up, because you're going to need it for some of the dungeons that they've got in store for you for level 70. So yeah, keep that in mind. But it is possible to buy everything from her, so check back there if you need anything. And then that's that campaign completed. So next week we'll be going to Neverwinter. We'll be starting the Tyranny of Dragons campaign, which I warn you is one heck of a grind, even with the new update, because the new update has lowered the cost of the 6th and 7th boom, so it's nowhere near as much grinding now, but it's still one heck of a grind. It'll still take you about 2 months to complete the Tyranny of Dragons campaign in total, and that's playing every single day. You know, so, but the rewards from it's got some of the better booms. Oh, wrong one. Half the board. She'll take us to Neverwinter next week, but we're not going to pick that up just yet. Let's see. Oh, it's getting so annoying. There we go. Right then, guys. Well, thank you for watching. Much appreciated the support, and I hope to see you all next week. Next week I'll try to stream on time. Like I said, I was really busy today, so I was an hour and a half late streaming. But next week I hope to be on time for streaming, so keep an eye out, and I hope to see you all then. You know, have a good one. Yeah, enjoy the game, and try to get plenty of rest.